I'm a night nurse at a psychiatric hospital. Last week, a patient in the locked ward told me something that still keeps me awake. She said, "They're not letting me leave, and they're not going to let you leave either." Welcome back to Dark Daily. My name is Sarah. I've worked as a psychiatric nurse for 4 years. I've seen a lot, heard a lot, and I've learned to separate delusion from reality. But what happened last Tuesday, I still don't have an explanation for. I work at Riverside State Hospital in Northern California. It's old, built in the 1960s. The kind of place with flickering lights, long hallways, and keys that unlock too many doors. Most nights are quiet, medication rounds, charting, keeping patients safe. But Ward 7 is different. Ward 7 is where they keep the long-term patients. The ones who've been here for decades. The ones who don't get visitors anymore. There are 12 patients in Ward 7. I know all of them by name, except, last Tuesday, there were 13. I noticed her during my 2 a.m. rounds. Room 714. A woman I'd never seen before. Sitting on the edge of her bed. Staring at the wall. I checked the charts. No new admissions. No transfers. I radioed my supervisor. "Hey, do we have a new patient in 714? Static." Then, "Negative. That room's been empty for 3 weeks." I looked through the window again. She was still there. I opened the door, stepped inside. "Hi," I said softly. "I'm Sarah. I'm one of the nurses here. What's your name?" She didn't look at me. Just kept staring at the wall. "I've been here a long time," she said. Her voice was flat, emotionless. "How long?" "Since before you were born." I glanced at her wristband. Blank. No name. No date of birth. Nothing. "Do you need anything?" I asked. She turned to look at me. Her eyes were wrong. Not the pupils. Not the color. Just the way she looked through me, instead of at me. "You should leave," she said. "I'm just here to help, not the room. The hospital." I felt a chill run down my spine. Why? Because they don't let people leave Ward 7. Not the patients. Not the staff. I forced a smile. "I leave every morning at 7 a.m. She shook her head slowly. "No. You think you do." I didn't know what to say. I backed out of the room, and locked the door. When I checked the camera feed later, the room was empty. No bed. No woman. Just nothing. I told myself I was exhausted, that I'd imagined it. But then, at 4 a.m., I heard singing. It was coming from the day room. A soft, childlike voice. Singing a lullaby I didn't recognize. I walked toward the sound. The day room was dark. But I could see a figure, sitting in the corner, rocking back and forth. It was her. "How did you get out?" I asked. She stopped singing, looked up at me. "I didn't. I've always been out." "I locked your door." She smiled. "Doors don't work here." "Not really." I radioed for backup. No response. Just static. I tried my phone. No signal. I was alone. "What do you want?" I asked. "I want you to understand," she said. "You're not supposed to be here. None of us are. But they won't let us leave." "Who?" She pointed down the hallway. "Toward the administrative wing. The ones who run this place. The ones who've been running it since the beginning." I didn't understand. But I also didn't want to stay in that room anymore. I turned to leave. And that's when I saw them, standing in the hallway. Silent. Unmoving. All 12 patients from Ward 7, staring at me. I ran. I don't know where I thought I was going. I just ran. But every hallway I turned down led me back to Ward 7. Every door I opened into the same room. I ran for what felt like hours, until I found myself standing in front of room 714 again. The door was open. Inside, the woman was sitting on the bed, waiting. "You see now," she said. And then I woke up. I was sitting at the nurse's station. 6:47 a.m. My shift was almost over. My supervisor walked by. "Quiet night." I nodded. "Yeah, quiet." But when I looked at the schedule, I'd been working at Riverside for 9 years, not 4. 9. And I don't remember the last 5. If you work night shifts, check your records. Subscribe to Dark Daily if this one messed with your head. And tell me, have you ever lost time? Ever felt like you've been somewhere longer than you thought? Comment below. I need to know I'm not the only one. Stay safe, or maybe you're already trapped too.